There has been a lot of strong reaction to the president's decision to reject a permit for the Keystone XL pipeline, a project that could have created thousands of jobs here in the state of Texas and elsewhere and brought oil right here to the Lone Star State. But a congressional committee may soon begin hearings to override the White House and grant approval to the project. Joining me this morning, the lawmaker who is sponsoring this bill, the Honorable Congressman Ted Poe. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Jose.
Tell us what you're trying to do to circumvent what the White House is doing.
I've introduced legislation to approve the Keystone Pipeline except for that one small section in northeast Nebraska where they're still trying to reroute the concerns about the environment. This is not the first time Congress has done something like this. Back in the days of the Alaska Pipeline, it had been stonewalled for 4 years. Congress went ahead and approved the Alaska Pipeline. Congress has the authority to engage in interstate commerce and can approve pipelines. So that's the purpose of this legislation. And it's a bipartisan bill, so we will approve it. Studies have been done, plenty of studies have been done, so that's Congress's responsibility to act now.
Now, this will be attached to another bill?
Probably so. It is a standalone bill at this time, but to get it passed, of course, we have to go through the Senate, the siesta Senate, as I call them. They don't vote, but I suspect that it would be attached to another must-pass bill that is relevant to energy, and then it'll go to the Senate, and hopefully the President will sign that piece of legislation. Congress must act on this issue. It's very important that we do that now.
Well, what if the President decides to veto the bill because he hasn't approved the permit?
Well, he has not vetoed, to my knowledge, very few bills at all. But if he vetoes it, then we will pass it again. Go back to the days of President Clinton. He vetoed the welfare reform bill twice. Then he finally signed it. Then he took credit for the welfare reform president. So we have to do something at this time and show that with the American people, most Americans support the pipeline for all the reasons of jobs, get away from Middle Eastern oil, make Middle Eastern politics irrelevant, deal with the Canadians. The Canadians are going to sell that crude oil, but they may end up building a pipeline and selling it off their west coast to the Chinese. So this is a step in that direction.
The President gave his final State of the Union address, and he kind of called something up, the Buffett rule, saying that millionaires should be paying a 30% tax rate. What do you think of the President's plan?
Well, the President's plan on raising taxes on the 1%, if you confiscated all of the wealth of the 1%, it wouldn't come anywhere close to solving the economic problems in the United States. It's interesting, Warren Buffett makes this same comment that he ought to be taxed more, but yet he's fighting the IRS on his own income taxes from last year or the year before. The answer is not to really raise taxes. The answer is to cut spending. That is the problem in Washington. It has been for years. Congress continues to spend money we don't have, and then the answer is, of course, cut the spending, not to raise taxes on any person.
Real quick, want to talk about the Florida primary that takes place tomorrow. It's gotten a little nasty down there between Romney and Gingrich. What's your take on that?
Well, politics is a contact sport, and
I thought it was only here in Texas.
Oh, Texas wrote the rules on contact sport and politics, but it is in Florida. You should know that, and you do. And Romney will win. Gingrich will be second. How much Romney wins, we don't know, but people don't like negative campaigning, but it works, and it has worked in Florida as Romney continues to bash Newt Gingrich.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you so very much, the Honorable Congressman Ted Poe, and the best of luck with your legislation.
Thank you.